Hey everyone, it's Michael. Today we have another update episode, and it's an update for a story we originally covered back in November 2022. Estrella Carrera was a 26-year-old living just outside of Chicago, Illinois with her 2 children, an 8-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son. Both children had separate fathers, and Estrella lived with her son's father, 30-year-old Arnoldo Jimenez. As I detailed in the original episode, Estrella and Arnoldo had a troubled on-again off-again relationship, the type of which usually burns out quickly, but for some reason theirs puttered on well past its expiration date, much to the surprise and chagrin of Estrella's family, who disliked Arnoldo for a host of reasons. That's why in May 2012 it came as a shock to all of Estrella's friends and family when she announced that she and Arnoldo were getting married. Within just a few days of the announcement, the two were wed, and after a big family celebration, the two went out for a night on the town. The next day, though, Estrella failed to pick up her kids from her father's home, and would not return any calls. Police were soon called, and when searching her condo, found her body in the bathtub, still wearing the dress she had worn out on her wedding night. Estrella had been stabbed at least 18 times, having been killed elsewhere and then carried into the apartment. Suspicion quickly narrowed in on her new husband, Arnoldo Jimenez, who was the last person to have seen Estrella and had a history of abusive behavior, not just toward Estrella, but other women in his life. Following her death, Arnoldo was nowhere to be found, and police quickly surmised that he had killed Estrella inside of his Maserati and then fled the region with help from his family. In 2019, Arnoldo Jimenez was added to the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list, believed to have fled to Mexico, but his fate has been unknown since Estrella Carrera's murder in 2012. That is, until last week of course, when authorities announced that after more than a decade, Arnoldo Jimenez had finally been located and captured without incident.
Says one of their 10 most dangerous fugitives is now in their custody, captured after more than 12 years on the run. Until tonight, federal authorities with the FBI right here in Chicago say the man from South Suburban Burbank had evaded law enforcement after his brand new wife was found dead in a bathtub. Here he is from 4 different angles. Arnoldo Jimenez taken into custody Thursday by agents in Monterrey, Mexico. Investigators have been looking for Jimenez since May of 2012. May 13th of that year, investigators found 26-year-old Estrella Carrera stabbed to death, still dressed in a silver cocktail dress from her wedding celebration. She was in a bathtub in her apartment in Burbank, Illinois. Police say Carrera and Arnoldo Jimenez had been married just a day and a half earlier at City Hall in Chicago. Investigators say Jimenez stabbed his wife 18 times inside his Maserati and then dragged her body into the apartment. Carrera's family had been watching her 2 children at the time. In a statement announcing Jimenez's capture, the FBI said in part, the FBI will use all of its available resources to bring criminals to justice, no matter how much time has passed or where they may be in the world. There has been a $100,000 reward for information leading to Arnoldo Jimenez's capture. We did reach out to the family of his late wife, but tonight we've still not heard back.
On January 30th, 2025, agents with Mexico's FGR, working alongside Interpol, detained Arnoldo Jimenez in Monterrey, Mexico. Not much has been disclosed about the circumstances of his capture, nor of his life on the lam, but authorities would state that Jimenez was to be held in custody until extradition proceedings could be had, likely to be announced in the near future. Following extradition, Jimenez will face trial for the murder of his wife and the mother of his child, having been charged with first-degree murder back in 2012. If convicted, he is likely to spend the rest of his miserable life in prison. The family of Estrella Carrera are undoubtedly happy to have Jimenez behind bars, but his arrest does nothing to ease their sorrow after all these years. Hopefully, this arrest can begin to provide them with some semblance of peace, knowing that Jimenez could no longer harm anyone else and will finally be held to account for his vicious crime. It may have come 12 years later than it should have, but you know what they say about planting trees. The second best time is now. I'll be sure to update you all should any new information arise in this case. But until such a time as Arnoldo Jimenez is convicted, it seems like the story of Estrella Carrera may finally be headed closer to resolution.